Hello and welcome back to 999. I'm not even gonna try to say the full name. I always forget. Um Good to be back. I was gonna record this yesterday, but Hidarashi stuff happened, so I kind of had to do the Hidarashi, but I'm back, baby. Um Helpful tip, do novel mode. Apparently adventure screen leaves out some details, so we'll switch it up, even though I do kind of like the aesthetic of adventure screen better. We'll get used to it, I think. At least they do keep the names, which is good. Um, yeah, I'm doing good. Little paranoid. Probably like the worst thing ever is there's like a bid spider, and by bid I mean like bid in terms of Toronto. So it's not actually that big. Was like crawling, and then I tried to kill it with a Swiffer duster, which is just a kind of a mop. Crunched it. I heard the crunch. When I removed the Swiffer, the body was gone. I had no idea where it went. I don't know if it's dead. I don't know if it like snuck inside somewhere. But I'm like so paranoid, dude. The spider's out gonna if it survived, it's gonna be out to get me. And that is terrifying. But enough about my I mean, if you don't see me in a couple days, that means I've probably been assassinated by the survivor spider. um, but yeah, good to be back. We're pretty much blind now. I think I did get a little farther into this game because I do remember. I think we meet people now, but I definitely didn't do like more gameplay, like more puzzles and stuff. I think I just like met the people, either finished the scene or not, and just uninstalled. But yeah, I just know we're meeting people. I don't remember um, anything about that. So yeah, let's get started. I mean, we've been clean last episode. I'm pretty happy with our progress. It could be me beating it a couple years ago could have been a factor. So I want a fresh challenge and see how we do. I mean, I've been doing well in the cat lady, so I think my skills have just been improving. But yep, we escaped the hallway flood. We went like down a floor, I guess. Still in the ship. Junpei says, "What the hell?" with a stutter. His voice trailed off, and all he can do was stare. A polished floor stretched out before him, ornate staircases rising up from the edges, each one of them equidistant from the others. The stairs and pillars were solid wood, and Art Nouveau embellishments and decorations covered the walls and the pillars. It looked like nothing so much as the entrance to a luxurious mansion from the early 1900s. Junpei couldn't but help wonder. It's definitely a fancy one. The water quickly filling the hallway behind him suggested that yes, he was. As he looked, a fresh wave rolled out of the room he'd been in, gathering speed as it moved towards the stairs. Well, they'll need to patch that up. That's gonna like eventually get pretty big, right? I don't know. I don't know the way it works. Oh, it's coming. Junpei, run! Junpei spun around, his wet shoes squeaking in protest on the polished floor, and ran towards the tremendous staircase in front of him. Uh-oh. Run, Junpei, run! B-deck? What are we looking for? A-deck? As he ran, he glanced quickly at the plates mounted on the wall, denoting the depths of the ship. Yeah, they're definitely not detonating. That's maybe that's from last night. From Hidarashi detonating the bomb. Or trying to. Hey, there's a 4, probably. Oh wait, there's a bunch. There's a 6, I think. Interesting. I wonder if like a bunch of I wonder if everyone else was in here while we were separated, or there's just a couple in here and other people are like separated around the ship. I'm guessing there's 9 people, because yeah, it's 9. 9 persons is part of the name, right? He took the stairs 2 at a time, not entirely sure where he would find himself. Brave man, I cannot do that. It spooks me out as I try to. I can do it climbing up, but not climbing down. Just as he began to wonder where, in fact, the stairs did lead. There go, some people. She looks like a belly dancer, kind of a spicy outfit. The big guy kind of looks like someone who works at a dock. I don't know about the the other two. You know, one's sort of a businessy man. The other's, I don't know, like it kind of looks like a fashion model. Just extremely stylish. Junpei saw another person out of the corner of his eye. The squad. Though we don't know if they're the squad. I feel like they're gonna make us work together, but like also against each other. That's how usually these situations happen. I don't know, again, I don't know if there's a term for this, but I feel like just the situation we're seeing where a bunch of people have to solve puzzles or whatever and trapped in a isolated location. It's definitely not a common story, but it's been done a couple times. Obviously all being pretty different, but I don't want to call it a Saw thing, but like when I think of this situation, I usually just think of Saw. On the landing to the left of the stairs, there were 4 people staring at him. I'm guessing it's not going to be as gory, hopefully. Oh. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're just missing 1 person. Okay, that girl looks young. Maybe. You have a fancy guy, love the coat, and the guy to the right kind of looks like a detective-y. It's just because of the coat, to be honest, and a little rough looking. Online, there are 4 people, and on the right side, 3 more. I'm assuming these all actually came from different places, and they just like kind of met up as they're running towards this area. All told, there are 7 of them, 8 including himself. It looked as though they had been on their way down the stairs. They'd stopped short when they saw Junpei, their eyes wide. He'd done the same, of course, and now they stood there staring at one another. Junpei didn't move, 1 foot placed awkwardly on the net step in the middle of a stride. Who were these people? This entire interaction lasted only a matter of seconds. The woman spoke to Junpei and time began to move again. Dancer, yeah. It's like a dancer. The woman dressed, Junpei thought, rather like a dancer. Hey, same assumption. Her clothes covered very little and her fraudulous jewelry a little more. Oh, it's animated. I didn't even notice her lips moving the first time she spoke. I guess she's not a dancer. Okay. With no further ceremony, she ran straight past Junpei and towards the doors behind him. The sudden proximity of a woman with such striking assets left Junpei momentarily stunned. Okay, dude. But the others wasted no time and quickly followed the strange woman. What? That's normal in anime stuff. Silver. The first to pass Junpei was a young man with silver hair. He threw a quick glance in Junpei's direction as he ran, muttering. You have a weird look on your face. For some reason it makes me not trust you. I guarantee you, like, I think a common thing that happens in this is one of these guys are either like a traitor or the mastermind. It just kind of happens. The top-looking guy. Following him was an older man, his face calm and without fear. Soft wrinkles sprouted from his eyes, and he came close enough as he passed for Junpei to see wisps of gray in his hair. His composure and shock of hair struck Junpei as rather than that of an elderly lion. That's a good description. Getting all the introductions. The next to speak to Junpei was a girl with pink hair and a high voice. I like the animations. It's neat. Her small hands wrapped around the wrists of another man. His eyes were closed, almost as though he were sleeping. His features were graceful, almost serene, and he was dressed rather elegantly for someone his age. I'm guessing he's supposed to be young. He looks kind of old, though. Something about his posture seemed very refined, and Junpei couldn't help feeling that he was noble and dignified somehow. Definitely looks like it. He's certainly never seen one, but this man seemed like what Junpei always imagined a prince would be like. What does that mean? Junpei opened his mouth to ask what the other man had meant, but the girl with pink hair rushed past him. Who else are you missing? The big fisherman guy. And the businessman-y guy. That's a little nerdy. These guys. He turned just in time to see two more people running towards him. One of them had hair like a bird's nest. That's a better nickname for him. And looked as though a stiff breeze might topple him. And the other was a very veritable mountain of a man. Yes. The scrawny one scuttled past Junpei as though he were running from something. Yeah, our guy is just taking it in. Back up. Before he had a chance to respond, the man laid a massive hand on Junpei's shoulder. He seems like a nice guy, despite his sort of scary look. I kind of assumed that, honestly. With no more effort than Junpei would have used to brush aside a fly, the man shoved him out of the way. Thrown off balance by the man and recent events, it took Junpei a few steps to get his bearings. He finally regained his balance and looked up at what the other 7 had been running toward. There are 2 pairs of large iron doors set into the wall in front of him. They looked quite sturdy and each had handles jutting from them. Written across the surface of each door in red paint was a number. A number on the right. Oh wait. You already seen a number 5. That was our door, right? So I guess I was probably wrong about these are the spawn doors, obviously, because we're all meeting here. Oh. The guy Junpei had decided to throw Silver was mumbling to himself. Same. With an arched eyebrow, the lion looked at Silver. Sorry, it feels like there's something in my throat. It's obviously not a spider. I'm trying to take quick pause. Okay, whatever. Hint it's a little better, but it's just annoying. Nothing too bad. It was as though the floodgates had been opened. They all began to talk at once. Yes, yes, everyone. Wonder if you have to keep our numbers secret. Probably not, because our watch would just show it. It soon became clear that each one of them had awoken in a room with a locked door and solved a puzzle to escape. They'd all ended up in the same room. Well, at least we all know that they're pretty decent at puzzle solving, so that's good. Almost as though they'd been guided there. Thank you, Dancer. I agree. Before Dancer had time to finish, Silver was already running. I wonder if we have to, like, scan our watch here, because we're number 5. He grabbed hold of the door labeled 5 and pulled. However, ooh, get the big guns. I don't think they'll work. The mountain grabbed Silver's shoulder and tossed him aside. His path cleared, he took a few steps back, then threw himself at the door. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. The door shook as his body slammed into it, but showed no signs of breaking or opening. The mountain threw himself at the door again. Well, they are metal. They're pretty reinforced. Junpei turned towards door 4. Next to the door on the wall was a small box. Why is her voice robot-y? Maybe that means we're thinking it, not well, this is third person POV, so I mean we're following Junpei, but we're technically not like seeing it, but I'm guessing that's his thoughts. Probably. He had to check. Junpei dragged a handle and threw all of his weight onto it. It was locked as tight as the door next to it, as he'd suspected. Junpei punched the door. It did not respond. The long train, goddamn. They're the worst, bro. They linger so long. Just give me a fast, loud one. He'd barely finished the thought when the CDAT plate he'd passed on the way up sprained, unbidden to his mind. His body moved before he had time to think. Junpei turned and ran back towards the stairs. He had scarcely taken a step when, at the top of the stairs next to an ornate clock embedded into a wall, he saw a person. Ah, 9th person. It was a girl. She looked to be the same age as Junpei. He froze, unable to look away from her face. He wasn't confounded by her beauty or something equally silly. No, there was another reason he couldn't take his eyes off the girl. Junpei had seen her somewhere before. He couldn't quite remember where, but he knew. He knew he'd met her before. The girl, too, stared at Junpei, similarly stunned. I just want to say, how unlucky can I be, man? We got a freaking paranoia from a spider, and my throat feels weird just as I started recording, since it was fine before this. It's honestly tragic. I heated up some milk, but it's too hot to drink, so hopefully that helps later. Seriously though, how unlucky. But let's continue. We met the 9th and staring deep into each other's eyes. Her response suggested she'd seen him before as well. I wonder if it's a thing. Another thing that happens in these kind of stories is if we're all somehow related. Not like really like super like buddy buddy related, but connected to like a certain event or something. Could be a possibility. Without saying a word, Junpei walked slowly toward her. She didn't move. It was almost as though she was held in place by some sort of magic spell. As Junpei stepped onto her landing, the spell broke. No sooner had he set his foot down, the whole ship shook a second time. The crate caught the girl unprepared and she fell. Ah, yes, we catch her. Or do we? Moving on instinct, Junpei leapt to catch her. Or so he thought. Did someone else? Oh. Her face was far closer than it should have been, mere inches from his own. He was flat on his back and she had landed squarely on top of him. The girl seemed confused as he did, and her face suggested she still hadn't fully recovered from seeing him. For a moment that seemed to stretch for a very long time, they stared at one another. The ship stopped shaking. Everything was quiet. Water could be heard from the bottom of the ship, lapping faintly at the walls and ceilings, but eventually that faded as well. The silence was complete, a thick, muffling blanket. At last, the girl opened her mouth. Jumpy. Okay, maybe not. It does seem like she knows us. Jumpy? Jumpy. Her words echoed through Junpei's head and suddenly his memory returned. Akane? Friend from school when you're younger? Childhood friend, I guess. Why hadn't he realized? Yeah, why was I so like indirect about that? Friend when he was younger. Why hadn't he realized it before? The girl was Akane Kurashiki. She and Junpei had been friends in childhood. They'd gone to elementary school together for 6 years. But what was she doing on the ship? Her soft eyes were only inches away from his own. He could feel the warmth of her face. Feelings he'd thought long forgotten began to work their way to the surface. He could feel his face heating up. At that moment... Whoa. Hello, robot voice. Hey, we switched to adventure. Why? We're novel gamers only. Yeah, why did it change? What the heck? Or did I accidentally change it? Or was this here before? A speaker crackled to life and a cold eerie voice filled the room. I don't actually know. Weird. We're novel gamers only, okay? Don't switch it on me. They hurriedly untangled themselves from one another and struggled to their feet. Their 7 companions heard the voice as well, and many of their faces had gone pale. They looked around frantically, desperate to locate the source of the voice. And they found it. A speaker set in the ceiling. 0. The 10th person. Or is that what they want you to think, and it's just a recording? Woo. Maybe. We'll try to be trusting, though. Or, we'll be cautious, but trusting. The voice was harsh, obscured occasionally by the crackle of static. Yes. Junpei recognized it. Gas mask, bro. How could he have forgotten it? So I don't think this guy's a fashion model. I think he's more of a delinquent type. The Nonary game. It is a game where you put your life on the line. Well, that's not good. The voice continued, implacable. In the files. I don't even think I checked read the actual files.
何言ってるの？
おい、ポケットに何か入ってるぞ。
In the back pocket. Silver reached into his pocket and pulled out a small slip of paper. Okay, so it's not in the files. Oh, wait. Never mind, we all have it. The rest of them reached into their own pockets and pulled out similar slips of paper. Junpei followed suit and dug into the pocket of his pants. He felt the telltale crumble of paper slightly damp from his earlier ordeal.
俺もだ。どうやらゼロは全員に同じ手紙を配ったようだな。君、読んでみてくれないか。
Would you mind terribly reading it to us, young man? Was that the right sentence? Am I reading that right? His request had been delivered to Junpei, who, after a short moment, was surprised at it as he asked. Alright. Let's see this. Rules of the game.
諸君らの目の前にあるのがまさにそれだ。ナンバリングドアを開くには各自に割り振られたバングルナンバーが鍵となる。
Hey, I guessed it.
バングルナンバーの合計数。その数字根が扉に書かれた数と一致した場合のみそれは開く。
Okay, so you need to add all of your numbers up.
扉を開いた者だけがその先へと進める。
Okay, so you can do groups too. So let's say there's 4. You can probably make 12 with 6, 5, 1. Wait, no, you need 13. So 6, 5, 2, and those 3 can enter. I'm wondering if another group can work. But like, well, there's 9 people, so you can definitely do it again, right? But some people might be left out. That's interesting. Oh, well, tell me the limits. Okay. Sure, I guess you can go like 1, 2, 3 for the sits. And then go for, like the bid numbers. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute to the puzzle behind the door, I'm guessing. All those who enter must leave means that nobody dies, which is interesting, I think. Sorry if you hear some gulping. I'm gulping me milk. He glanced around. It looked like everyone else had one as well and had come to the same conclusion. Mm-hmm. Here's a 9. Yeah, okay. So it is timed, like I thought. Ah, yes. No way, we only have 2 hours? Okay. That seems very short. It'd be like anime time if we had that much. Well, oh. I mean, I guess I should have guessed that, huh? Of course, 9 hours, 9 doors, 9 people. The voice finished and the speaker went silent.
鐘の音。
階段の踊り場の方から聞こえてきてるみたい。
時計が時を告げているんだ。
Hmm. Everyone had their eyes on the antique clock embedded in the wall. 7, 8, 9. The sound of the 9th bell faded away. The 10th never came.
鐘の音が9回。9時。
Okay.
それも多分午後の9時だ。
I actually just thought it was gonna be like, you have 9 hours left.
あの三段ベッドの部屋、
Hmm.
窓の向こうは真っ暗で何も見えなかった。だから今が夜であることは間違いないと思う。
だとすると、タイムリミットは明日の午前6時ということに。
All-nighter, guys. Alright, let's go. Guys, this isn't a competition. We can all escape together if we work together, as it seems. It sounds like, unless there's some spicy rules in some of the rooms. The speaker went silent and did not speak again.
やいてめえ、何様のつもりだ。出てこいこの野郎。銀髪のやつがずっと怒鳴り続けてるな。他のやつらは。
Face palming, concentrating. Dancer seems annoyed. Akane. Junpei too was consumed by his thoughts.
わからない。ゼロってのは一体何者なんだ。
It's a good question.
ノナリーゲーム。何のためにそんなことを。
Very big general questions.
外反的なものなのか。それとも何か別の目的があるのか。そもそもどうしてそんなわけのわからないゲームに俺が選ばれたんだ。
It is true, we do seem like a random guy, so it does make you think that he didn't just choose randomly.
他のやつらもそうだ。
These are handpicked.
この8人が選ばれた理由は何だ。そして何よりも
Akane.
茜とは小学校を卒業して以来一度も会っていない。その茜がどうしてこんなところにいる。偶然なんてことはありえない。
Yeah, no way.
必ず
I won't believe that coincidence. I'm already a suspicious person, but I can't let this slide.
彼女がここにいる意味が。
とにかく
The lion's voice seemed oddly loud in the silence.
このままじっとしていても仕方がない。動こ
動く。
Yeah,
ナンバリングドアを開くつもりですか。
let's go. Don't have time.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。あのゼロとかってやつの言ったことに従うつもり？
う。違う、そうじゃない。
The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed.
別の道を探しに行こうと言ってるんだ。まだ調べてない場所
Okay.
が残ってるだろ。
It's smart.
調べてない場所。
まだ調べていない場所か。俺以外のみんなは A デッキを調べてきたんだよな。
ああ、焦ってたんで隅々まで完璧にとは言えないかもしれないがな。
だったら先に下のフロアから調べてみよう。どこまで行けるか。まずは降りられるところまで降りてみるのがいいと思う。
It's good. Get a lay of the land.
意義なしだ。
では行ってみるとしよう。
Guess no one's excited about playing the game, though we're probably going to have to. That we can just cheese it completely. Choosing some of it might be good later.
うわ
何よこれ、完全に水没しちゃってるじゃないの。
Hmm.
おいおい、このままどんどん水かさが上がってきて全員仲良く敵死なんてのはごめんだぞ。
Wonder what I guess there has to be like an escape boat or a raft or something.
いや今のところその心配はなさそうだよ。
The prince knelt down gently and drew his hand across it.
ほら水が流れていないということはどこかでせき止められているんじゃないか。
Okay.
もしかしたらあのゼロってやつが遠隔操作か何かで水密扉を閉めたのかもしれない。
That's good. So it won't. It's gonna sink in 9 hours, but it's not like continuously sinking. I guess it would be hard for it to keep the boat afloat for 9
タイムリ
hours.
ミットは9時間。ゼロはそう言っていた。ならば逆に言うと9時間は持ちこたえるということに。
それまでは沈まないっていうのか。
あくま
Yes.
でも希望的観測だよ。そうであってくれたらと願ってるのさ。
嫌な話だぜ。
しかし、ここから先に進めないとなると、我々の動ける範囲は A デッキから C デッキまでということになるな。
Hmm.
みたいだな。
結論を出す前に残りの C デッキも調べてみようぜ。
Oops. Sorry, Silver.
だな。
Gotta get what we can.
大階段の正面にある鉄の扉か。
Wonder if we can like sneak stuff into the room to help us with puzzles, but I feel like how well this is designed, each room probably has all you need.
2枚とも数字は書かれてないのね。
No numbers. Oops. I keep skipping, I'm sorry, it's fat fingers. Or more stiff fingers, I guess.
鍵がかかってる。
Maybe they're like bonus rooms. We can get keys from the locked rooms. Or he's hiding keys somewhere. And they are still like bonus rooms.
こっちもだ。くさ、どこもかしこも開きやがらねえ。
おい、こっちだ。階段の裏手にも1枚あったぞ。
ここも開かないか。
こうなりゃ。およっさん、手伝え。
力ずくというわけか。
The two heavyweights.
やれ。
ダメか。
ちょっと、いきなり暴れないでよ。びっくりするでしょ。
すまん。
しかし、二人がかりで体当たりしてびくともしないとは。相当に頑張
I know it's early, and it might not even happen, but if I had to guess a traitor, might as well shoot our shot when the game starts. I think just basically just from first appearances, I think it's either Silver or Lion. I just think it's Lion because he just gives that vibe. He gives a vibe for some reason, but Silver because he kind of for me, I think it's because he kind of initiated the rule thing. Like he looked in his back pocket first, and then that led to like everyone else looking, which means he might have known about it beforehand. I know that's like a freaking Hail Mary, but that's something. I don't know. Those are my two. If one of them hits, it's literally just instinct. So I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but just want to get that out there. Just in case one of them do hits, because even if it is just instinct, I'll brag about it a bit. It'll raise my ego.
バカね。考える前に筋肉代理なんて。
ああ、
ほら、よく見てみなさいよ。
鍵穴。
Yes.
他の扉と違って、ここは開く方法が分かってるんだから。
I mean, they might not even be bonus doors. It might be like doors we need to progress through.
鍵ね。
何か文句でも？
いや、ただそう簡単に鍵が見つかるのかと思っただけだ。
Yes, probably did. Ignoring the tense air between the two, Junpei moved closer to examine the doorknob. Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding the dot. I don't know, I thought that was just design, but that's kind of suspicious.
妙なマークがついてるな。
Maybe that's
何か意味があるのか。
to identify the key, because you're probably gonna have a couple of keys, because there's a couple of doors.
後ろの方も見てよ。
Ooh, elevators. Or are those elevators? They kind of look like elevators. Pink Hair was looking at double doors they hadn't examined yet.
こっちも扉か。
扉っていうかエレベーターだよね。
Yeah, I think that's
横に逆三角形のボタンがついてるし。
pretty good observation. For the triangle button by them.
反応がないな。
電気が来てないんですかね。
もしくはこのド
Yeah.
アの横にあるカードリーダーが関係してる
Probably.
とかかな。
Also, they have like a. It's not a pentagram, but it kind of looks like one drawn onto the doors behind the cage.
ここにも妙なマークが
And on the card reader, apparently. I don't even know what that sign is. It's weird.
何なんだろうな。
Yeah.
小文字の H の縦棒にマイナスを加えたみたいな記号だ。
Barely. I don't even think it looks like that. Junpei stared at it for a while.
土星のマークですね。
Oh, I don't really know about that sort of stuff.
先生術なんかで
At
使
all.
われるシンボルの
Astrological symbols. Not really too interested in
さ
that.
っきの扉にあったのは
あれは太陽のマークだと思います。
Akane with the astrological knowledge. Should be handy.
星のシンボルは A デッキにもあったよね。
Mm-hmm.
そんなもんあったか。
記憶にないわね。
Okay, so the 7 already met. I was a little confused. I thought like the 4 were grouped and the 3 were grouped, but they were all grouped. So it was only me and Akane that were like by ourselves.
A デッキか。俺はまだ行ったことがないからな。
せっかくだ。もう一度しっかりと調べに行こうじゃないか。
Yeah, take the lay of the land. Lions urged them on, and they took the stairs up.
ほら。
Lion does kind
あの
of seem
階
like
段の両脇に
the
設置され
pseudo
た
leader
二
of
枚
the
の
group,
扉
though.
左側の方にだけ鍵穴がついてるんだけど、そのすぐ上のところに印がついてるの。
Oh, well, it's
あ
different.
本当だ。さっきのやつとどことなく
It's
似てる。
definitely not the same, though.
これは地球のマークです。
Earth symbol.
横の棒は赤道、縦の棒は四五線を表しています。
That made sense. I was gonna ask why would that be the Earth, but the equators. Junpei looked up at the ceiling.
あの天井。
Hmm.
鉄板か。
It's to be expected.
しつけられてるな。
If you're seeing all these like these like intricate like devices, and I think the ship's it's probably pretty solid. Who knows how much planning has the mastermind went through just to set this up.
おそらく元は
Probably a lot.
大型の天窓でもあったのだろう。
あそこから出られたらいいのにね。
現実を見ろよ。爆薬でも仕掛けない限りぶち破ることは不可能だぜ。
窓も同じか。
Yep.
どれも鉄板で塞がれてる。
There were several windows along both sides of the ship, or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates.
つまり
Don't really have a path forward right now.
八方塞がりってことか。
Besides the numbered rooms we have, 4 and 5. Junpei was not happy. The girl with pink hair spoke up.
正確には3フロアあるから24方塞がりだよ。
Her voice actor sounds so familiar. Can't really Google it because her name's Pink Hair. It might spoil her real name. I'm assuming we're gonna learn their real names as the game goes on. Maybe. Then the mountain spoke.
上下を加えれば24 中六方塞がりだな。
True, but I doubt it. It seemed kind of pointless. The prince did not agree.
いや、やはり24方塞がりだよ。
Yeah, there you go, Prince. See, we're kind of agreeable there.
2つの道はまだ残っているんだからね。
Trying to get a read on the characters to see who we like, in case there's like an option of who we have to save or something. Prince seems pretty good so far. Yeah, and even though I sussed him Lion, I guess. I was kind of call him Leon, but no, he's Lion. Seems pretty good too. Gotta save Akane because she's probably the waifu.
ナンバリングドアか。
All eyes turn towards the doors with numbers on them. The atmosphere in the room grew tense.
ねえちょっと待ってよ。さっきも似たようなこと言ったけど私は反対よ。
Don't really have much of a choice. The dancer moved in front of the doors as if to block them.
あのドアを開くなんて馬鹿げてるわ。それこそ犯人のゼロの思うツボじゃない。
Don't have much of a choice. Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once.
俺は賛成だ。いつまでもここにいるわけにもいかないしな。
そうだな。私も賛成だ。
私は絶対に反対よ。
Wonder if we're gonna have squads already. There's the agreeers and the disagreeers.
とりあえず進んでみるべきなんじゃないの？
Or maybe everyone's just trying to agree except for Dancer.
何が起きるかわからないし、ここに留まるべきよ。
そんな時間がどこにあるんだよ。8時間
It's already been
30分
half an
この船は
hour.
海の底へと沈むんだぞ。
Come on. I mean, made sense. The clamor of the voices made it next to impossible to determine who was saying what. I just realized we haven't heard from the bird's nest, man. I want to hear from him. Gotta get a sense of character. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another. Let's get in our thoughts. Oh,
ちょっといいか。
never mind. They fell silent and all eyes turned to Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch.
進むかとどまるかを決める前にやっておくべきことがあると思うんだ。
やっておくべきこと？
情報交換だよ。
Hmm.
俺たちはまだお互いのことを何も分かってない。
I like that, though. I doubt they'll give too much, but thanks, Junpei. Yes, we need the information. Get the reads.
あんたたちが何者なのか、どこの誰で、なんでこんなところにいるのか。気になるだろ？他のみんなだって。
They were silent. Some of them looked the other way, or bit their lip, or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. But one of them spoke up. It was Akane.
私も賛成です。順平君の言う通りだと。
Right, Akane. Gotta cut that nickname out when we're with the squad.
順平？
あ、ごめんなさい。この人のことです。
She pointed towards Junpei.
私たち幼馴染なんです。小学校が同じで。
待て待て待て待て。聞いてもいないことを勝手にベラベラと喋るんじゃねえ。
Why?
ゼロはおそらくどこかで俺たちのことを監視してるはずだ。奴に聞かれたらどうする？
He probably knows, I'd assume.
これったらまずいんですか？
まずいに決まってんだろうが。ゼロが俺たちのことを知ってるとは限らない。
It'd be a hell of a coincidence if he didn't.
無作為に適当にターゲットを選んで拉致ってきただけかもしれん。だとすると奴に素性がバレるのは危険だ。家族が脅迫されたり逆に俺たちの方が脅されることにもなりかねん。家族の誰かを人質に取ったと言ってな。
でもせめて名前ぐらいは教えてもらわないと。呼び方がわからないと不便じゃないですか。
だったらコードネームで呼び合うことにすればいい。
Okay, guess we're not learning their names. To him, apparently, it seemed like the obvious solution. It's fair. It's safe. Guess you should be safe than sorry.
例えば俺だったら、 セブンとかな。
Kind of like mountain better, but okay.
セブン
It's probably his number. It seemed a fair question. The mountain stuck out his left arm. Okay, we're just gonna call each other by our numbers.
7番だからだよ。
なるほど。確かに
Yeah,
センスは
that's actually a good idea. Keep it simple. He smirks.
だ
Who are
ったら
you?
俺はサンタで行こう。
Santa.
サンタロウのサンタじゃねえぞ。サンタクロースのサンタだ。
Hmm. Okay, are we all not Japanese? Guess you also have to see which numbers are the most valuable. I mean, I guess they're all valuable, so it doesn't really matter. But I feel like the high ones and the low ones can like almost go in anything, right? Never mind, all numbers are pretty valuable. Don't have to min-max that.
君のバングルナンバーは
Yes, it's a 3.
そう。もちろん3だ。
Good job. True. Just like the mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left hand. Sure enough, the face of his bracelet read 3.
わかった。それでは
Okay.
私も君たちに習おう。私のバングルナンバーは1だ。
1. Ooh. Nice.
1だから
Ace.
いやというのはどうかね。
Okay, we're not going by the numbers. They're just actually giving nicknames. That's fine. So Santa, 7, and Ace.
だったら私は
Lotus. I low-key didn't know that, but thanks for the info.
バングルナンバーはご覧の通り
Yes, yes. 8.
8番だから
僕のことはニルスと呼んでもらいたい。
Snake. It's not a very trusting nickname, but okay.
バングルナンバーは言う
It looks like a snake, kind of.
と言っても僕にはその数字は見えないんだけど。
Okay. Mine was different. Oh, you're blind. Okay, that's also interesting.
見えない。
Doesn't mean you're not useless. Maybe you have other senses, but yeah.
やっぱりあなた目
That's why his eyes are always closed. Interesting. He might be the big thinker, though. He kept his eyes closed during their entire ordeal, which had suggested something strange, but here it said so casually. Also, my throat is finally feeling better at, like, probably close to the end of the video. Great timing. Sigh. It was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it.
じゃあ次は私だね。
There's one other person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with the pink hair.
私は四つ葉がいいな。
Because you're 4.
四つ葉のクローバーの
Easy
四つ葉
enough.
縁起がいいでしょ。ほら。
Okay. Looking almost bored, she held out her left hand. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They'd come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet.
俺の数字は5だ。コード
Oops. If you skip early, it cuts out the whole dialogue, which is kind of annoying. I guess it made sense.
今さら必要ないでしょそんなもの
What do you mean? Let us have fun. The dancer cut him off in
みんなも
mid-sentence.
知ってるものあなたの名前は順平だ
I mean, it's true, but still.
そっか。
They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously.
だったら私も本名で呼んでください。
No, let's give you a code name, Akane.
そうじゃないと。
You seem like a very extremely nice person. You also look very nice. I like the hairstyle.
順
Let's
平
keep
君
you
に悪い
s-
からな。
keep you safe.
自分だけ本名を伏せるわけにはいかない。
Akane fidgeted awkwardly. I honestly don't think it matters, since I don't think we got picked randomly, but it's fine. Junpei decided he had to do
お
something.
前のバングルナンバーは
六
Sits. Damn, look at her sleeves over the fists. I used to do that when I'm younger. It's a nice style. She's stylish. Like her already. She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left hand. As she claimed the bracelet, face showed us its. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought.
だったら紫っていうのはどうだろう。
June, okay.
紫。
頭に無がつく単語なら何でもいいわけだろ。だから
Okay.
紫で。
俊平君
Akane kneaded her hands and looked at Junpei, uncertain. Maybe this isn't for the mastermind, but for the people around them. Like, what if someone actually recognizes someone, or you can like connect the dots or something? That you know this guy from this incident. He smiled up back at her reassuringly. Like, what if one of these guys were actually a criminal?
お
Woo.
前もそれでいいよな。
She thought about it for a few more minutes, then seemed to have come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod. Few minutes? We're burning time already. Who's left? Bird Nest. Wait, where's Bird Nest? I swear he hasn't even talked yet.
ここまでで自己紹介したメンバーは確
Their
か
names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his head, started to skip that.
1番は一味、2番はニルス、3番はサンタで、4番は四つ目、5番は
Junpei.
3番は8番はシュ。で、俺を含めて8人のバングルナンバーが判
Well,
明した。
9 is Bird Nest.
あとは
Man's been quiet the whole
そ
time.
この鳥の巣頭のメガネをかけた男だけだな。
そういえばあんた出会った時から一言も喋ってないよな。
What if he's mute? His skin was pale, his breathing was heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he had only a fingertip's worth of grip on his sanity. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hand on his hips. Oh wait, okay. Okay. No. What a misfeat. Yes, she didn't put her hands. Imagine, she put her hands on his hips and eyed him suspiciously. That'd be a much different scene, huh? She put her hands on her hips and eyed him suspiciously. Dude, that reminds me of high school. I remember I was in a creative writing class and I accidentally made that mistake. Right, so the character like put instead of putting, he put his hands on his hips. He put his hands on his hips, and it just made. And when people read it out loud, it was so bad.
あなたは
That's
何なの
funny. He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitched from person to person, and his breath came in hot pants.
ねえ聞いてるんだけど
It's very tiny. The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like old paper. Okay, he's not mute.
そんなこと。今ここには9
Yeah.
人の人間がいる。そして1から8までの数字が
Well, show your bracelet. What if you have a fat 0 on it, alright?
残った数字がだよ。
9番ってこ
そうだ。
But he's so suspicious. He extended a trembling arm. Okay, there you go. The bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at it contemptuously.
とコードネームは
コードネーム？
呼び方のことよみんな自己申告したんだからあなたも
そんなもの僕には必要ないね。
どうして
僕は君たちと一緒に
Okay.
行動するつもりは
Okay,
ない
dude.
からだよ。
He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very like disgust.
何か
Jeez.
考えでもあるって どんな考えが？
教えてほしいかい？
Don't kill yourself, please.
分かった。それじゃあ教えてあげよう。
Feel like he's about to do that. Whoa.
こうするんだよ。
By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. You know what? Before we continue with the excitement, we're gonna end here on a cliffhanger. I know there's no gameplay, but that's fine. We meet our party, kind of. Get a lay of the land, get the rules set. And now we're in a hostage situation. Wow. Again, feels like we just came out of a hostage situation from Higurashi, and now we're back into one. Maybe. I don't know what Bird's Nest is going to do yet, but he may or may not die. I wonder if you have to like drag him along if he does die, or maybe we'll just knock him out. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll come back next week probably. Yay! It's been fun. No puzzles, but I'm good for a chill reading sesh. Hopefully we do get into some puzzles, though. I was low-key kind of prepared to big brain it. But yeah, next time we'll see how this happened, and maybe or maybe not go into one of the doors. Yeah. Anyways, have a great day or night, and see you later. Bye.